What is going on, good people? Glad to be with you here again as we, march down this circa hotel and casino journey together for the second straight year. Scott Fishbowl tomorrow. I live stream that draft from about noon Eastern, 9 a.m. West Coast time. Could be 9:30 by the time we start it. It's a crazy draft. It's all for charity. Obviously here at circalasvegas.com. Circa Las Vegas and Casino. Stadium Swims where we're doing the draft. It's going to be an absolute smash. So I hope all of you watch the live stream tomorrow. But today we're talking about the Matrix, baby. We're talking about the build that wins you a league. The Matrix is when you draft Jamar Chase or Hill or Lamb. You could get away with St. Brown or JJ, but we're going to kind of keep it simple, right? Jamar Chase, we're going to use that as a placeholder. Envision Hill or Lamb, if you will. Kyren and Achane, staples. The Matrix cannot be built without Kyren and Achane. Achane in round 2, Kyren in round 3. Whatever top 3 or 4 wide receiver you want that tickles your fancy, you do it live, young man. You do it live. But you have to have Kyren and Achane in that second and third round draft selections to complete the Matrix or to get the 3 of 3 going. Round number 4, you go Patty Mahomes. You see the guys on the screen. You're not surprised. I'm not throwing you for a loop. You know what's coming. Patrick Mahomes in round 4. Now, round 5 can be Kincaid or Trey McBride. But you smash this draft right here. A variant of it, if you will. A variant being Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. But no straying away too much from that, right? Kincaid, Trey McBride. No straying away from that. I guess you could say Kelsey if you want. But Achane and Kyren, no substitutes. Not for the freaking Matrix. And you know what happens when you smash this?
Got him.
It's an absolute smash in 2024. So make sure you're doing it. Let me show you a couple teams that I'm building with this bad boy. I have a couple different variations. I didn't land it in one. I did land it in another. This one, I successfully hit it. I was trying to get the McBride version of this, but I hit everything else in Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy they'll match your first deposit 50% up to $250. So you deposit the minimum of $10, they'll give you 5. You deposit 100, they'll give you 50. You deposit 500, they'll give you that 250. And this is an absolute, lambasting going on in this draft right here. I'm clobbering these guys to little itty bitty pieces. Patrick Mahomes, Devon Achane, Kyren Williams. I literally could have 2 top 5 running backs, the number 1 overall quarterback. You could call him 2 or 3 if you want. Jamar Chase. By the way, Patrick Mahomes was the number 1 quarterback in 2022. Patrick Mahomes had 44 or 45 total touchdowns in 2022. So not last year, the year prior. Everybody getting all upset about Patty Mahomes having a down year last year. He was the number 1 overall fantasy football scorer. Number 1 overall across the board in almost any format you look at. The number 1 overall fantasy football scorer 1 year prior to last year in 2022. 2023, it is what it is. Judge him all you want. He's an absolute machine. Absolute machine. Let's see here. Did I spell something wrong in the title? Achane. Yeah. Whatever. Funny guy. Let's go ahead and switch this spelling out. Achane. My computer's been lagging, so you'll have to forgive me. Achane. The computer's been lagging big time. I don't know. It's getting overheated. It's not that Las Vegas is hotter than Arizona. I'm used to hotter weather than Las Vegas. Arizona's hotter. It's just I'm not outside with my laptop all the time. in the midday, So this is one strategy, or this part of the strategy I smashed right there. Here's a different build. It's like the cousin of the Matrix, and I gotta say, I almost feel like the cousin is more powerful than the main honcho here. AR5. So you don't get Mahomes, you don't get Jamar Chase, but because of that, you're getting an extra player. So I go Jahmyr Gibbs at 20. This is super flex, by the way. This one on the right is not super flex. The one on the right is non-super flex. The one on the left is super flex, which is why I got Gibbs at 20, which is crazy. So I'm going to deploy the Russell Wilson and Fields tactic here. You can't get this cousin version of it in a 1 QB. But if you want to try and deploy it in the Superflex format, look at this thing. Anthony Richardson going number 5 overall. I go ahead and take Jahmyr Gibbs as my second drafted player. I take Achane as my third drafted player. I take Kyren Williams as my fourth drafted player. I take DK Metcalf as my number 5, and I take Kyren Kincaid as my number 6. These strategies, your Superflex version, your non-Superflex version, are home runs. And you can say that you can find a better strategy than this, but I don't think so. I think these are the 2 home run smashes right here. Hit that thumb up button on the way in the door, people. Appreciate you. Rock out in the building. Rock out, appreciate you. Human Ziggy is in the building tonight, a.k.a. Andrew. He did a good job today. Thank you for all the support there. Travis in the building tonight. Double R in the building. Superfish in the building. Ray G in the building. Thank you all for being here. Let's see what you guys are saying about here. Achane song is my favorite. It's everybody's favorite. Achane. All right, let's see if the phone lines work. I don't know if they will. We'll try it out. It could be a little bit of a lag at first, but then kind of come around. Let's go ahead and try it. Hold on, let me open up the phone line here. Let's give it a second, even if it lags for a little bit. Give it a second. Nobody leave. I'm going to fix it. If there's lagging, I'll fix it. I do got to plug my computer in. Hold on a second. We got to power this bad boy up. We're going to lose power. This computer's been abused today. Absolutely abused. Put through the ringer. This poor thing. It's overheated. All right. We may be frozen. We may have froze for a second, but we're going to be okay. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Again, we might have some freezing initially. It should go away. If it doesn't, we'll close the phone line down. Dial into the phone line, and we'll test it out. But these 2 strategies, I mean, come on. You can't deploy this one in a non-superflex, but you can deploy it in the superflex. So this is the superflex version, the cousin. This is the 1 QB version. These are glory right here. The Matrix is unbelievable. I truly believe that somebody's going to win a big tournament from this channel, like a follower. You're truly somebody that's touching this channel. No degrees of separation, totally connected to this community. Someone's going to win a big tournament with this strategy, whether it's Superflex version or non-Superflex version. Somebody's going to win big money, first place prize in a contest using this strategy. I really believe that. This is just an unbelievable approach. It's the only time you can get, using Achane and Kyren, top 5 running backs. You're not drafting top 5 running backs with your value anywhere near top 5 value. You're grabbing 2 top 5 running backs without touching either one with your first round pick. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't get it. I'll continue to smash it. I don't understand it. I don't understand, but I'm going to continue to do it. Dial into the phone line. Do I have the phone line graphic somewhere? Let's see if I have it. Dial into the show. Where is this? Where is this? I got a phone line animation here somewhere. Dial into the show. I don't know. I don't know if I have a phone line graphic here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Does it work? Does it work?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And let's see if I can put this on screen here. There we go. I don't know what's working and what's not. I hate being out of my studio. I truly do. I've got so many things going on. Other shows don't try and do. It really makes it difficult. But we're here doing it. Fourth, keep Brees in the 4th round or Achane in the 9th round. I'd probably go Achane in round 9. Mainly because, I mean, think about who you're going to get in round 4. It could be a Mahomes. It could be a McBride. It could be a Kincaid. You know, Kincaid or Mahomes with Achane is better than Hall. But it's debatable. No doubt about it. Smitty adapts with the best of them. Thank you, Pearson. Appreciate you. Rock out with a $2 holler, my guy. He says, Circa Smitty needs to be in the penthouse. Yeah. Next time. I think as we get bigger, we'll get some. We'll have some pull like that. Right now, we're a decent fish. Like we're pulling a room. we're pulling they're pulling out all the stops during the day for your boy. They're taking care of me. I mean, that cabana is like $10,000 a day. Like they're awesome here. Maybe like 5. I don't know, 5, 10. I think you get the cabana, but you have to spend like X amount on food or whatever. It's crazy, but like to do a draft party there, you divide it up by 12 guys, and it's very affordable. You know, it's like it's a fun little event. You know, 12, 15 guys, whatever. Especially if you bring like your spouses or something, and you divide up the food. I don't know how much the small cabanas are. I imagine the small ones are like $5,000, but you divide it by 12 and significant others, and before you know it, you're paying like $250 or something like that a piece or whatever the hell. Rock out, appreciate you. Circa Smitty needs to be in a penthouse. Someday we'll pull that kind of juice when we're. Is my phone line not working? What in the hell's going on? You know, part of it is I have this little tiny screen. You know, I got this little itty bitty screen. Like, what in the hell can you do with this size screen? Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing. Phone line's open. I think I have it working now. Come on, Ziggy. Fix this. What's the reason why Vegas doesn't allow fantasy drafts? Because they want to control. Vegas wants you to draft with them. Vegas wants you to do in-person things. They don't want you drafting online. They don't, that's so Vegas is going to control that, unfortunately. Smitty, play the DM. Oh yeah. Rockout has got a DM that we got to play. Rockout did a nice little DM for us. Oh God. Gotta plug my phone in again though. All right, Rockout. Here's Rockout's DM.
Smitty so live, he doing it in Circa Las Vegas and rocking a cabana, keeping in the chilling, the wrecking, rock, killing in the game. That's how we going down. He going to kill it at the Skyfish Bowl. That's how we got the rocket on the go. That's how we get it. Oh, Smitty so live. That's how we do it now.
Rock out, doing it live here at Circa. Rock out to the moon. Hold on, I gotta plug the phone in. Rock out, doing it live. Doing it live. All right, let's answer the chat until we get some calls. If the calls are even going to go through, I don't know if the phone line's working. We drafting tonight? No. Schubel, Keep up, bro. Keep up. Human Ziggy. Tell him. Rock out 2x speed. Oh, that was 2x speed, was it? I was wondering why it sounded so crazy. I thought he was going like Eminem speed.
Killing in the game is how we going down. He going to kill it at the Skyfish.
I like it in 1.5 speed.
So live, he doing the circa Las Vegas and rocking.
Sounds like Eminem.
Keeping in the chilling, the wrecking, rock killing this, killing in the game is how we going down. He going to kill it at the Skyfish Bowl. That's how we got the rocket on the go. That's how we get it on Space So Live. That's how we do it now.
Thank you, Rock Out. Appreciate you. I'm gonna jump in a weekly. Well, Double R, don't like some people only have their phone to watch the show. Okay, so don't get put in timeout by trying to pull people out of the live stream. We're not drafting tonight. You can't do it here in Vegas. Even $250 is a lot for a cabana, so superfish. I mean, yeah, it depends. I'm guessing on the pricing. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're like not a $500 cabana, but it's more about the food. Like you're getting food with that. You're getting the cabana like comes. I don't even know. You have to talk with the guys over at circalasvegas.com. But it's I mean, it depends what you're doing, but it's worth it if you're bringing a bunch of people, especially if there's significant others involved. You know, because then you talk about 12 people times 2, and then so 24 people, and now all of a sudden it's cheap. Try. Should I try trading my 1.5 or 1.2 back in my rookie draft or stay there? If it's a superflex, hell no. If it's a 1 QB, I don't know. I mean, Neighbors is going to be really good. And I try trading up, but I don't know if I trade down. I mean, I guess it depends what you can get, but there's not. You'd have to get like, I don't know. I'd have a tough time giving it up unless I was getting like two multiple first rounders, and no one's gonna really pay that. But like, why trade down? Maybe you want Bowers, maybe you want JD5, and you have no quarterback, and it's a 1 QB. You know what I mean? It's okay, Double R. I'm kind of messing with you, but yeah, it's not. Some people don't have. You know, some people are on their phone and you like take them out of the draft. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I'm not saying you could do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like, you know, we can't draft right now, but you guys able to swipe up and keep YouTube playing, like, by all means, go draft with Double R. But some people come in here and like, I'm in the middle of a show and they're like, guys, let's go draft. Like, you get put in timeout doing that. I'm just telling you, the mods put you in timeout for that. Cause like, you're like literally trying to lure people away from the beginning of a show. Get JD5 and do it. Did he say it was Superflex? It's a 1 QB. Okay, so 1 QB, I don't know. Are the people trying to call in the phone lines? Try one more time. Someone dial into the phone line. I don't know if it's working. I reset it like 4 times, but I don't know. Okay. It's also how you do it too, you know what I mean? Like, some people do it smoother than others, but like, yeah, the intention of going into someone's live show and be like, hey guys, let's go out of it. You're going to like you're either going to get banned or blocked, or you're going to get put in timeout and warned. And the timeout, sometimes the warning, sometimes somebody's not going to tell you. It's going to be like, okay, I'm going to put you in timeout again. I'm going to put you in timeout again. You just got to be careful. Like, think about it logically. All right, here we go. Marsman Rockout's trying to dial in. Let's see if we can do it live. Marsman Rockout, can you hear me? Marsman Rockout, can you hear me? Hold on, bro. Don't hang up. Okay, this is Travis, actually. Travis is on the phone. Travis, can you hear me? Hold on. I'm going to hang up on you. Marsman Rockout calling again. Travis, stay there. Talk, Travis. Okay, don't hang up. Let me troubleshoot this with you on the phone, because I have a feeling I can fix this, but I need you to stay there. Okay. So we're going with
Like barely hear you.
Audio video. Let's change this to the Okay, so I think you should be able to hear me. And then speakers, boom.
Now I can.
There we go, Travis. I got you.
I can hear you now. All
Okay,
right.
perfect.
Rock
out. Try calling it again.
I was going to say, if you get Rock out on the line, talk to him because I just need a couple minutes. But I'll stay on the line until he calls in.
All right, cool. I think we got it going. Okay. All right. Thank you, Human Ziggy, for whatever voodoo you put on the phone system to get it back in working order. What are we doing here? Sounds like he's on Mars. How's he sound now? And is the show choppy? I don't think the phone line's dragging the show down. I think we're good.
Superfish just said coming in loud and clear. So
okay. Thank you. And then I think Rockout's calling again. Let's see if adding another caller. It might freeze it when I add him. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's just a matter of resources and overheating and a lot of different things. Rockout, can you hear me? Loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
Clear. All right. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go on mute for a second. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, Rockout, you tried the Matrix yet? Have you deployed the Matrix?
Like 3/4 of it.
It's not easy to do, which is good. Like if everybody could do this, then we'd be in trouble. Like you have to kind of misfire on it a couple times. Not that you're not building a good team, you're still drafting best player available. It'll work out.
Yeah.
But I mean, you drop this kind of team over and over and over with different variations of it. I think someone's going to win big money from our community in one of these contests on Underdog. Because, it's all about, like, if I deploy this a lot and I get different supporting casts, like I got Christian Watson one time, then I got Alvin Kamara another time, and I've got JD5 with Mahomes in this situation, and then I don't, and then I got a better wide receiver because I didn't do that. I go bully tight end. There's a possibility you get McBride and Kincaid and then bully tight end this, but that's gonna be like 1 in like 50 tries. But yeah, hit that thumb up button. Blackbeard says 29 likes in 70 or so in here. Punch that button. Do it live. What's up, Derek Lincoln? Appreciate you being here, pal. We've got on YouTube, we got 70 in here now, 30 on Twitter. Please hit that thumb up button if you're on YouTube. And if you're on X right now, jump over to the YouTube. We need YouTube views more than we need Twitter views. And on top of that, I don't know. It's a better experience, I promise you. Superfish says the best position for the Matrix is probably 4 or 5. That's true. 4, 5, 6 probably. Listening on the road, just checking in to say what's up. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you. Phil, what are you on the road for? Coming out to Vegas? What you up to, Phil? So the Matrix in the Superflex, though, is really interesting.
Yeah, I like the team number 2.
Yeah.
With Gibbs.
I mean, that's it's Superflex, but I'm going to get Fields and Wilson and Penix Jr. So Fields, Wilson, Penix Jr., and Anthony Richardson with this cousin of the Matrix team. And then I'll get the Miami Dolphins backs probably. I'll probably get Corum. And then I might have a thinner wide receiver room because of all that, but I'll probably still have at least like somebody solid to go along with another Christian Watson and then probably a lot of rookies. But that's the way I think I'm going to build that. It's a good squad. It's a really good squad.
So yeah, McLaurin and Reed later on too in that league.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Corum over Kyren says GDLT. I think you. I don't mean to call you out, bro. I think you might potentially. This thing's getting stuck. Hold on. I'm trying to throw this comment on here. I think you might have fat-fingered your comment there, GDLT. You put the open alligator toward Corum. I think you meant to go the other way. If we go back to mass school, we're going to learn that open alligator goes toward the greater player, GDLT. But
Turn it around.
But he is the best cuff in fantasy, no doubt about it. The combo guarantees you numbers that you can't smash. I deployed the Matrix on draft. Yeah, we don't talk about other platforms. Ray G, how's the weather in Vegas? It's colder than Arizona. I almost brought my jacket. There we go. Ziggy AI auto corrected and put it in there. Thank you, Ziggy. Thank you for recorrecting the way he formatted his algorithmic flux capacitor median deviation from the 2.5 gigawatt component structure on this core inverse Kyren analysis. Thank you, Ziggy. Weather in Vegas is colder than Phoenix, no doubt about it, says Ziggy. Peanut butter and jelly, appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Got somebody screaming in the hallway. Wish I came to Vegas this year. God, this guy's screaming. Wish I could go to Vegas this year, but I got so much going on early August. No problem, Sick Nasty. Appreciate you. Next year, let's try and do it. Also, I might be out here again. Vegas my boy Aaron called me last year, like maybe a month after this. God, this guy's screaming. What's he screaming about?
Freaking hotels.
That wouldn't happen on the floor. They'd take you right out. What was I saying? Oh, he called me. My boy from my connect here from Circa called me like a month after this time last year and said, come back out. And then I couldn't make it, though. But it was like another event. I think it was like a fantasy football.
Yeah.
It was a big draft experience. I forget what it was. All right, Smitty, do you need a human Ziggy to come quiet the hallway? I don't know, man. Can you just like take over the intercom system and like say something to him? Like, shut up, Smitty's live. Okay. Yeah. So some other variations. Okay. First of all, what do you guys like better in the chat and rock out? What do you like better? Chase, Hill, or Lamb for this matrix? You don't need to have Chase. The only thing you need to have is Achane and Kyren.
Chase would be easier to do.
You like Chase better?
I don't like Chase better. But I like Hill better, but Chase would be easier to do with the matrix.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah. Probably is easier.
But I like Hill better.
Hill, you could get Hill almost as easy as Jamar Chase.
Well, he can go in the top 3. Hill.
Is Denny here? No, Denny's not here. Let me see. I got to keep the phone lines here. Travis, you back yet? I don't think he's back yet. Ray G says $5 holler. Who do you like better, Dotson or 80 Mitchell? It's a very good question. I go back and forth on that one. I guess initially Dotson, long-term AD. And the reason I say it like that is that if you need scoring now, then you want Dotson, and Dotson could be better than AD, maybe even. But if you want a little bit more upside and you're willing to wait for the development of the kid, AD Mitchell has a little bit more ceiling, and it's not crowded there. So, yeah, I don't know where Denny is. I don't know where Denny is at all. Carlos says Hill over Chase. It's kind of a debate here. We all like Chase a lot. We all like Hill a lot. Jamar Chase was the number 1 overall wide receiver in terms of targets. If you extrapolate the data from weeks 1 through 10 when Joe Burrow was there, and it was like not even close. He was getting 11 targets a game versus Lamb, which was 10.5. And the difference between Lamb and like wide receiver 7, 8, 9, 10 was about the same difference between Chase and Lamb. So the difference between Chase at 1 and Lamb at 2, if you extrapolate the 10 weeks over 17, was that discrepancy. That difference is crazy. But, he keeps getting hurt. Burrow gets hurt. It's understandable to be like, I don't want to go near Chase, but, at some point you can't say that. But, I mean, at 1, 2, 3, 4, I could see somebody saying that. So it doesn't have to be Jamar. Again, let me repeat. The Matrix doesn't have to be Jamar Chase. It can be Hill. It could be JJ if you want. It could be, probably the lowest you can go is St. Brown. But even that, you got to be careful.
Top wide receiver.
Yeah. Banto, did you see 11-month membership, saw the response to the $20 hauler? Good. Banto, you were worrying me all day. Thank you, Banto, for the $20 hauler. Really appreciate it, bro. I read it on the show and made sure I put it in the pinned comment for you. All right, I'm glad you found it. Banto to the moon. Okay, so
hey, I'm back.
We settled that. The wide receiver could be Chase, Hill. Lamb's going to be harder, like Rockout said, but doable. St. Brown's the end of the line for trying the Matrix. Travis, do you like Hill or Chase better for the Matrix?
Oh, man. I think I like Chase. I just like his outlook for the year.
Now, my non-negotiables are, at least for me, anybody can define this however the hell they want, but I'm not going to Smitty approve that it's Matrix, approved. But Kyren and Achane are non-negotiables for me, at least for this build. If we're calling it the Matrix, that's just my design for it. So Hill and Kyren, boom, stamp them in. You got to have them. So Hill or Chase or JJ or St. Brown or Lamb. Kyren, Achane. And then what do you prefer, Mahomes? Let's pretend Josh Allen can't fall to this because he's usually going in 3. He goes in 2 in your mom and dad league. He goes in 3 in best ball a lot of the time. So Mahomes or Hurts, who do you like better? I'm starting to climb on the Mahomes train. Not all the time, like 50-50 now. It used to be like I'd take Hurts like 70% of the time and Mahomes 20, and then like maybe just not go QB. But like now when I see Mahomes and Hurts there, it's like 50. I can't even get to. I just double up and grab JD5 in the hundreds anyway. But I can't even at this current state. It's 50-50. I just can't let these two go. But I'm starting to take Mahomes 50% and Hurts 50%. But who do you like better for this Matrix build, Travis? Mahomes or Hurts?
Oh man, I'm really high on Hurts, but like something tells me to go Mahomes. Like something about him fits better. I don't know. Just a weird gut thing. I don't know.
Can you explain why we like this so much?
Think?
I think I just mix it up, but I do for some reason I love it with Mahomes right now. But and again, we said this at the beginning of the show. Mahomes is the number 1 overall scorer, not just top quarterback, the number 1 overall scorer. Not this last year, obviously, but the year prior. In 2022, he was the number 1 overall fantasy football player. He was the Josh Allen of last year,
right?
And everybody's so quick to be like, "Oh, he fell off. He can't do it anymore. They've changed everything." They're not. He's going to throw for 40-plus touchdowns. He's going to throw, not run on top of 4, 5, 6 touchdowns on the ground. He's going to throw for 40-plus touchdowns this year. He's going to score 44 to 45 again, especially with the shorter field. Mahomes is going to have a field day with these new kickoff rules. So I love Mahomes. I personally still 50-50 that. Harvest wants to know, can you explain why we like this so much? Why I like this so much? Well, 1, I like glory. Number 2, I like winning, Harvest. Number 3, I like getting a top 5 wide receiver. Number 4, I like getting a top 5 running back. Number 5, I like getting another top 5 running back. Number 6, I like getting the number 1 overall scorer. and I also like to add in, just sprinkle in a top 2 tight end. So let's review. Positionally, 1 to 5. 1 to 5. We'll call it like 4 to 6 in Achane. 1 to 2. 1 to 3. Maybe 1 to 4 if you're getting a little frisky. And then 1 to 3. Like, what wouldn't we like about it, Harvest? What wouldn't we like about this? What on earth would make you think, like, what would make you phrase it that way? Like, you need to be talked into drafting a top 5 wide receiver, a top 5 running back, a top 5-ish running back, a top 3 quarterback, and a top 3 tight end. What makes this confusing? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for 96 friends in the stream right now. 60 of which are from YouTube. Super chat.
Needs to get his right.
No, I already answered that. I mean, I'm being real. Like, what would make you ask it this way? I could see if you're like, hey, Smitty, do you? I just don't understand. I don't understand what would make this need an explanation. I think most people would be like, how the hell did I miss this? That's the kind of comment you should be having, Harvest, is to say, where have I been? Why was this not?
Do I get the?
Why was I not aware that this was going to happen?
I think I could get it.
I think I might have to change my answer because, like, I would drop him 50-50, like you said, in the situations. I think actually looking at the rosters, I think I have to go Hurts because I feel like if someone goes down, they just always are going to have someone else to step in. They have such a deep roster; it's ridiculous. And I do wonder. I think Mahomes bounces right back, but I do wonder if there's a little adjustment time, like last year too, because like last year, Rashee Rice for the first 10 weeks averaged like 4 catches, 40 yards, and then for the last like 6 or 7 weeks, he was getting 7 for 86. So he had that like go-to receiver, and hopefully Hollywood will do that for him right away. But if he doesn't, it could be a little bit of a slog at the beginning. More Pacheco and
yeah, I think
so
you could.
I think off of that, I have to lean Hurts, but it's close.
I think we could say this the same way that, like, hey, the Eagles change. I'm not down on the Eagles, by the way. You guys know that. But hey, who dropped 5 gifted memberships? Who dropped more than that? Hold on. Pearson.
Key Wade. He was saying he hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah, Pearson, thank you for dropping 5 gifted memberships, my man. You absolute straight monster, you. Okay, so again, I love the Eagles. I love the Chiefs. I love Mahomes. I love Hurts. I'm not doubting those two at all. But you could make similar arguments of, the Eagles changed 95% of their offense. They might be slow out of the gate, and it might not all jive. Hey, The Chiefs are maybe losing Rice, or now they've got a new wide receiver room again. They're going to be out of the gate. They're going to be slow. What I will tell you is if either one is slow out of the gate, guess what we do? We swing in here and we buy low. So every year, weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes into week 6 and 7. I've seen it go as deep as week 6, 7, 8. Usually not past week 7 and 8, but at least weeks 1 through 4. There will be 5 to 10, maybe even more, super amazing win-a-league buy lows that are in the top 30 overall. There will be even top, you could say top 40, like 6 to 15 in the top 40. Or if we're talking so you can bet your bottom dollar, whichever QB, if one does start off slow, I will be coming in hot with the buy low video. 100%.
Yep. Everyone will there's always, like you said, upwards of like 10 guys that you can buy low on, and they'll end up being great. But at the time, people like laugh at you, or not you in general, just in general, but like laugh at the person for making the trade, or say,
look at Joe Burrow
around this year.
Look at Joe Burrow. He always starts slow. I mean, maybe he starts slow again. I would say this. I would say if I could, if I could buy, like, if let's say, God forbid, Achane or Kyren have a bad week 1, I'm buying again. Like, you're just gonna be able to get them that much cheaper. I think people would run for the hills if either one had a slow week 1. We'd have to evaluate why, but like, I mean, that would be, I could see that happening. One of the two having like an okay week 1. I think Jonathan Brooks starting off slow because of the ACL, that could panic some people, and they could say, hey, keep in mind, sometimes people make very bad sell low moves with players they thought they wanted, but when their team isn't looking up to par, when they've got 2 losses right out of the gate, or they're 1-4, or they're 0-3, they panic And so if someone's like, I bought Jacobs, Jacobs is another one that could have maybe he has a bad week one and people freak out. They're already freaking out a little bit about him. But more so, if let's say, what was the player I was just saying? God, I sidetracked myself so much. Who was I saying?
Kyren Achane.
Yeah.
Kyren Kincaid, what are you saying?
The brain's fried. Been in the sun. Anyway, if one of them comes out and has a slow week one, what I was saying was that if somebody is having Jonathan Brooks, if somebody takes Jonathan Brooks, right, and they start off 0-2, they wouldn't have traded you Jonathan Brooks for anything entering week one, maybe even entering week two. But the moment they screw up and they're 0-2, they're 0-3, they're 1-4, all of a sudden they're saying to themselves, I can't wait anymore. It was going to be a guy I planned on waiting on. I can't. I got to try and get a W. And they'll sell you Jonathan Brooks cheap. So there'll be tons of those opportunities. Those are some of my favorite shows. And people get that's where Panic Peter and Worried William and all those names come from, because there will be people in here that come in here and they go, Achane to the moon, Smitty, I'm your guy. I'm with you 100%. And then about 20 to 30% of you, you Achane soldiers, about 20 to 30% of you Kyren soldiers, you will be absolutely upset and mad if they come out of the gate having one bad game in week one, or if they do okay in both weeks 1 and 2, and it was game script and all that, and there's explainable, and you're going to be like, I don't know, Smitty, I got to trade him. You will not weather the storm. There are 20 or 30% of you watching that are going, no. I'm a total team Achane. I'm team Kyren. I'm in it till the end. You're going to jump ship. You're going to jump ship. I'm going to come in here in week 1 and 2. I'm not saying it has to be Kyren and Achane, but I'm telling you. Yeah, we'll be doing the 10-second, 20-second, and 15-second underdog drafts when I get back. They're fantastic. Like I suggested that the other night on the show. Sometimes I wonder if they get some of these. Like I'm fine with it. I'm tossing them out there, but like sometimes I'm wondering if they're getting these ideas from watching, because I said it would be amazing to make these drafts go faster, and help train us, and do this 15-second, 10-second timer. You know, what do they do? Like a month later, they create the 10-second, 15-second, 20-second timer. So very excited about that. Let me go to Ninja real quick. Harvest, I hope that answered your question earlier. I don't know what your response was, but have a good one. He's out of here. Ninja, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm GDLT in the chat, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah, the chat wants me to explain why I'm saying Quorum over Kyren.
Can I guess? It's draft capital. Draft capital. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no. What competition did he have last year? None. He didn't have any competition in the backfield. Could he withstand a full workload by himself? No, he got injured for multiple weeks. They drafted a running back in the 3rd round. If Kyren was so great, they would have drafted a running back a little bit later who didn't go to a better school than him, who didn't outperform his college stats, who has a better physical profile than Kyren as well. So he's going to have more competition this year. Yes, Kyren was top 5 last year. He's not top 5 again this year.
Well, you know what? If you're a Kyren doubter, if not a Kyren hater, but a Kyren doubter, if you were looking at this without blinders on, you would want both of them together and say to yourself, bias be damned. Hold on. Bias be damned. I'm going to draft both of them. I'm going to draft Kyren at his high ADP, and I'm going to have a top 5 running back. But what you'd be admitting in that is that Kyren is the guy, and that Kyren's going to get that. But you can't do that. So you're going to draft only Quorum, and that's fine. I mean, if Kyren goes down, Quorum's a great. Well, we already believe that Quorum's going to produce elite numbers in McVay's system if he gets in there. That's why Kyren and Quorum are the number 1 handcuff in all of fantasy football. And there's no Smitty take a lap if Quorum goes in and has 110 yards and a touchdown any game he plays. That's our whole formula. But this whole notion that you can overlook what Kyren has done just because they drafted a backup running back to be there in case he gets hurt, because he has gotten injured. He does run like Pacheco. He does put his body at risk. He has been injured several times, but injury's the only concern. McVay doesn't run 2 running backs. You say that's why McVay went and got him. McVay doesn't run 2 running backs. He's going to give him, hopefully, we hope that he gives him 20%, 25% of the work so Kyren can stay healthy. Number one, Kyren's already said, I'm going to be the number one running back in the league, and I want to be in the slot running wide receiver routes. I want to be in competition for some of the best PPR work that all these other running backs get to partake in by getting Corum in there at the same time, if they do ever deploy them at the same time. But McVay doesn't run 2 running backs, and McVay is also, hold on, and McVay also said over and over and over that when this team has Kyren in the game, they're a much better team. They're a different team. And he has no plans of unseating Kyren Williams for Blake Corum, who is a good running back. I don't care if he's a better prospect than Kyren. You know who wasn't as good of a prospect as so many other players that were on the same team or in competition or could have been, is Arian Foster. But he came in and he did what he did. There's a lot of players that don't look the part in college. You can't use Corum's college prospecting level and evaluation against Kyren when Kyren's already turned into Superman in the NFL. In having 12 rushing touchdowns in 12 games, 15 total touchdowns in 12 games, and being the kind of guy that if you extrapolated his 12 games across 17, he would have been only behind Christian McCaffrey by a small amount, and he would have been head and shoulders above the rest. You can say what you want, but you're a Kyren hater, and I have a feeling you're digging a hole to try and prove your doubt last year right.
Hey, Smitty, I respect your opinion, and I hear you out, man. But Sean McVay has played musical chairs with his running backs before. I don't know if you remember when Darrell Henderson was having some time, and then some other running backs that I can't really remember.
Because he didn't have a running back. He's trying to find his running back. He didn't want to rotate, and he did stick with one and go back. And Malcolm, they used Malcolm that year. They tried to stick with one. McVay, Kyren's like McVay's second child or first child, bro. I don't think you realize how much he loves Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams isn't going anywhere unless he gets injured, which is why we cuff him. He's not. If you think, hold on.
Like I said, I think Kyren's going to do fine. I don't think he's going to do top 5 again. That's all I'm saying. He's not going to be a top 5 running back again. I'd rather take a Travis Etienne over Kyren Williams this year.
Let me ask you a question. Does Kyren Williams produce top 5 running backs per start?
What's up?
Does Kyren Williams produce top 5 running backs per start?
He did last year when he had no competition.
Will he? He doesn't have competition. McVay's not going to run them both, bro. He's not. He doesn't do that. He may have done it with Malcolm Brown. Like, of course he did. Darrell Henderson, like, he didn't have a starting running back then. He didn't have anybody who was good. You really think Kyren Williams is not getting fed to the tune?
Smitty, I'm just asking you to entertain my perspective as well, like I'm entertaining yours. Last year, I came on here last summer. I came here last summer, and you had a friend who was a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and you guys were all over the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. And I came in, and I said, Kenny Small-Hands Pickett ain't going to do it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you guys were laughing at me, saying, how can Kenny is going into his second year. He's going to be so much better.
No. This guy, I'm literally the biggest Pickett hater. You come in and you spit lies on the channel, you're going to get hung up on. No, you did not call into this show. Hold on a second. He did not call into this show. He just spat out a bunch of lies. You didn't call into this show and get laughed at for being down on Kenny Pickett. You got it all wrong, buddy. I'm the biggest Kenny Pickett is going to bust person you'll find. Bigger than you, Ninja. Bigger than you. So you're wrong. You're misremembering that to a thousandth degree. This is no Kenny Pickett fan. You didn't get laughed at on this channel. So you're wrong. You're misremembering everything. As well as that McVay uses multiple running backs. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Yeah, just one other thing too with the injury thing. Like, okay, you want to guard against injury with Corum.
Hold on, before you answer that, does anybody in here?
Yeah, go for it.
Can everybody in here confirm that I am the biggest anti Kenny Pickett person? That you can't come in here and say that I laughed at you because you said Kenny Pickett was going to be bad and I laughed at you. You can't. You say you'll go find the video. There's no video to find because Ron Navy and I would go back and forth. GDLT Ninja, you probably were arguing with Ron Navy. That's all. You were probably on the phone line and Ron Navy was arguing with you, and you're acting like I was a part of that. There's no video to find. I never, ever liked Kenny Pickett. What are you talking about? Okay, go ahead. God.
No, I was just gonna say even when he got hurt last year, he still ended up as, like, depending on the league, a top like 6 or 7 overall running back, even only playing 12 games. So it's like cuffing him with Corum is the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, there might have been a video where he was running through those pylons or whatever, and I go, wow, that guy looks hungry. He looks like a dog right now. That's pretty good. Like that, you got to get excited about maybe this isn't going to fall apart or something like that. That's the only thing I can tell you. That's the only thing I've ever said about Kenny Pickett being positive. I've never told you Kenny Pickett's going to thrive ever. I've never been about Pickett. We're so anti-Pickett. Ron would continue to come in here, and we call him small hands Kenny Pickett. I do measurements on Kenny Pickett's hands. We talk down on Kenny Pickett's hands. Ron Navy came in here and would get irate, and you probably got in an argument with Ron Navy, and you just associated me with it. Anyway. Sorry, I keep interrupting you there, Travis. Are you there?
No, you're good. Yeah, I said no, you're good. You have to defend yourself on that.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you think. Like, you're coming in trying to use the Corum and Kyren argument, and you bring up Kenny Pickett. That's your ammunition against me. The guy I can't stand. The guy I said was going to fail. The guy that I want nothing to do with. The guy that Ron Navy and I almost end our friendship every time he called in about. That guy? That's the guy you think you've got something on me with? Oh, my God.
That's a reach bringing up that player, too, in general.
Yeah. I bet what happened.
Kenny Pickett feelings and cut. Yeah.
I bet what happened is, like, he started to look like good for a second. I'm like, maybe he's not going to be trash. I don't know. Maybe he'll do enough to get Pickens the ball.
Well, remember in the preseason, he had a good preseason, and the hype started to go up. And you still said you didn't buy into the hype, but
yeah,
you probably said something like,
I probably tried to say
maybe there's a sliver of a chance, something along those lines. Yeah,
I still think he's just misremembering it. One of the many Ron versus Smitty arguments. Yeah, constantly. Kenny Pickett. God, Ron and I would yell and scream about that. And then the one day that Ron called in and goes, Kenny Pickett sucks, and we're all, what? He's like, yeah, I'm done with Kenny Pickett. I'm like, thank God. Thank God. Oh, bro. Anyway, for anybody watching that might be swayed away from Kyren by anybody talking about it, I'll just tell you this. Kyren doesn't cost you a top 5 running back. You got a guy that just called in that would argue over and over and over about how Kyren can't produce this, Kyren can't produce that. Yet you don't even have to worry about that because you're drafting Kyren in the 3rd round. You're cuffing him to Corum, and you have a top 1 to 5 running back. There's no argument here. There's no coming in and saying Kyren Williams is going to lose his job. He's not going to lose his job. Could he get injured? Yes, that's why you're cuffing him. But to suggest that there's risk involved when we start talking about this and people are like, Corum over Kyren, it's not Corum over Kyren. It's Corum and Kyren over Kyren. Corum and Kyren together over Kyren. There's no other debate. Kyren Williams is going to come out on a tear. He's not coming out splitting the backfield. He's coming out, and McVay's going to try and keep him healthy, sure, but he's going to explode. Anyway, what does Pickett have to do with Kyren? I don't know, but as soon as he said it, I'm like, no, you're not going to spit those lies out here. There might have been a positive thing I said about Kenny Pickett because he was running through pylons really hard and he had determination. I'm like, it's nice to see he's got grit. Looked like a dog in the practice today. You know, maybe he can get it to George Pickens. Maybe he can get the ball to George Pickens. Maybe he can do better than we think. Like that's how we're thinking. Can Leggett get the ball from Bryce Young? Can Bryce Young do enough? You know, are we drafting Bryce Young no. Like, number one, so if I said a positive thing one time about Kenny Pickett, which you'll be hard pressed to find, if I did, I still never, ever, 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 ever would ever tell anybody to even draft him as a backup. So therefore, GDLT Ninja, doesn't matter what you find. If I said, yeah, look at him run through those pylons or whatever, that looked pretty good there. You will never find me saying draft Kenny Pickett. Draft Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's garbage. Always has been. Never thought he was good at all. Ever. Was I trying to ever, pump up that Pickens might not be limited by him or something? Sure, but I never would have told you to draft him even as a backup. I wouldn't have told you to draft Kenny Pickett in superflex. In fact, I would have strayed you away from it constantly. Don't draft Kenny Pickett in superflex. I don't care. All right, anyway. Fields is a sleeper? Absolutely, Shamrock. And you know what's great is all this negativity on Fields right now. It's really good because it's making him fall to the almost like undrafted territory. I love drafting Justin Fields in best ball, like, because he comes in and starts dropping top 6 quarterback numbers at some point with his running ability, and he's just optimal scoring, just gets shoved in your lineup whenever he ends up having such a monster year or week.
Yeah, and him, I believe him and Russell Wilson are like 200 or later in their ADP. So like you can do that kind of crafty, take both of them, and you're almost guaranteed to have a decent, like a good quarterback. Because like you said, if Russell Wilson's staying in there, he's got to be playing well. Yeah. If not, Field has pushed him out of the job.
Kyren is easily top 10. Of course he is. Look, anybody saying Kyren, no offense, Ninja, or whoever else is in here, anybody saying Kyren's not top 10 or top 5 even, they missed out so hardcore last year. I don't care what they say. They could say, no, I drafted him. No, if you drafted him, you'd be excited about him. If you called Kyren, you'd be on the train no matter what. You'd be so hard to pull off that train because you'd feel something smart about it. You know, you'd be bragging about it. You'd be wanting people to know. And so if you don't like Kyren this year, it's because you're trying to prove last year's bad prediction that he wouldn't be good correct. You're trying to live in the past. You're trying to fix that wrong so that last year doesn't feel like you missed it. And instead of just saying adjust and adapt, I'm grabbing both. You're right. At the end of the day, Smitty, would I draft him top 5 or 6 or 7? No, I think he'd get hurt or something, so I wouldn't do that. But instead of talking about Kyren in his 3rd round ADP in a positive way, the fact that we're even in here, Ninja, discussing Kyren in a negative light when he's going in the 3rd round means you're begging him to fail so you feel better about last year's mishap. There's no other explanation for it. There's none. Because you're finding a negative in his 3rd round ADP, a top 5 potential running back that, yes, maybe you're correct. Paying top 5 value would be very risky, potentially. I'd still pay it. Don't tell anybody, but I don't have to. But to find negativity and say, Kyren there, when he's a 3rd round pick, when you can cuff him to corn, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is you just want to be right from last year, and you're begging him to fail so that last year doesn't feel painful anymore. It's kind of like getting something wrong on a test and then hoping to God the next day somebody finds out that the answer you put down actually was correct. And you're like, damn it, I knew I wasn't wrong. Oh, my God, this is such a good day. You're just hoping for a fall. 12-team half PPR. One keeper, $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Money. Money Mitch. 10th pick, keep Gibbs, 1.10. Pittman, 4.3. Flowers, 5.10. Dell, 12.3. Leaning Dell. Yeah. I probably grabbed, I mean, it's tough because, like, if you don't keep Gibbs, like, think about it logically. If you take Gibbs at the 1.10, you're locking in great value. But would you rather have the player that falls there and Dell? The answer is yes. Like, even if it's Marvin Harrison Jr., even if it was Kyren or Achane, Kyren or Achane with a free Tank Dell is better than a Gibbs. So there's really no other way to look at it. As much as you want to argue this is a big top 5 running back, I get to secure him. There's no sense in denying yourself unless you believe, and this is only one player keeper, right? So I think you can get Kyren or Achane. You probably won't get Gibbs back, but I think you'll get Kyren or Achane because probably out of the 12 players being kept, 2, 3, 4 of them won't go in the top 15 or 20. They'll be Tank Dell type guys that are very, very late, right? So I don't think it'll feel much like you're in the second round yet, even when you're drafting at 1.10. It'll feel like you're in the middle of the second round maybe, but it won't feel like a whole round difference. All right. Well, you may think you're grabbing better value in round 3 GDLT, but you're not. Okay, especially if you cuff it. All right, moving on from that topic because you're in a Kyren room, pal. I like Achane more than Kyren. So does the ADP. So that's not. First of all, Achane's going in the second round. Kyren's going in the third round. So that again is not a good argument. You're trying to dance around this. Just stop, bro. Okay. Rest of the super chat. Oh, Money Mitch, I'm sorry. There's another part of the super chat that I missed. Money Mitch says this. Let's see here. But consider Gibbs, JJ, Puka, Jamar, Achane, Amon-Ra all being kept. Okay. So, yeah, Achane's off the board. That sucks. We love Achane, top 5 running back right there. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Yeah, I mean, so those are good players being kept, but you're still going to get a really solid player with Tank Dell versus keeping just Gibbs and having no Tank Dell. So I still smash that trade, or I still smash that decision. Superfish, appreciate you. Pearson to Saturn, thank you for dropping the $2 hauler. Superfish, I'm sorry I didn't see that until right now. Appreciate you. Okay. What else we got? Rock out, you still there? Hello?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Rock out? What do you got?
What strategy do you like from like the 12th spot?
I mean, what strategy don't I like from the 12th spot? I guess I would say this. I would say that it depends on the flow, right? Best player available. So could I go MHJ, yeah. Garrett Wilson? Absolutely. Could I go Gibbs and MHJ, Gibbs and a receiver like Garrett Wilson? 100%. I've seen Hall and Gibbs fall to 12 and 13 at least 20 to 15% of the time. That's not a huge percentage, but that's damn freaking fantastic. Running back, it's fun there. It's really fun there. You get a Tank Dell and a Devontae Smith later. You get a Mahomes and Tank Dell later, and you get a lighter wide receiver room, but you've got 2 absolute workhorse RBs in Breece Hall and Gibbs. So Breece Hall, Gibbs, Tank Dell, and Mahomes. Breece Hall, Gibbs, Tank Dell, and Hurts. Breece Hall, Gibbs, Tank Dell, or DK Metcalf and Tank Dell. You can get that too. Like DK and Tank Dell is your wide receiver 1 and 2 when you've got Gibbs and Hall. Walk straight to the bank. Double wide receiver, it's interesting, but I have to say, I don't know that I love the double wide receiver as much as the running back wide receiver or wide receiver running back or the running back from the 12 spot traditionally. but I've seen it smash.
Yeah.
It just depends on if your league is very, very unaware of how good Achane is or something like that, or they believe the hype on the negativity on Kyren, and you could land both of them, very hard to believe, then I don't mind that. Obviously, if you could get that, that's a great approach. But I will say that you give me, even if you give me Mahomes and Kelsey at the 3rd and 4th round picks back to back, and at the 12 and 13, you give me, double wide receiver or double running back. I still love that. It's all about best player available. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, I want balanced approach if I can get it. Does
it change if it's like a 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 2 running back?
Yeah. It could. It just comes down to best player available. My man. J Post, I will have to look through. Don't bother looking through it, GDLT, because I won't give it airtime or the time of day. So you'll be wasting your time. You're going to find some speck of information. Just drop it. GDLT, I'm going to boot you from the chat if you don't change the direction of this right now. It's not that you can't disagree with me, but stop. You're spreading lies about Kenny Pickett, and I'm not going to tolerate it. So stop. Just stop or you're gone. It's that simple.
We don't like Pickett.
I don't like Kenny Pickett. I never liked Kenny Pickett, bro. Never. Everyone in here knows that. Every single person in here is going to call you out and call you a liar. Because I've never liked Kenny Pickett. You may be thinking about a time where you argued with Ron Navy, and I said something to you like, that's Ron's opinion, or something happened like that. Who cares? I don't care, because I know for a fact. That's like telling somebody that they love the color purple when they don't love the color purple. And you can say, no, I'm going to prove you love the color purple. I'm telling you, I know. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to find a video out there to tell me. I can tell you with 100% certainty that I hate Kenny Pickett, always have. Always. I don't need you to find shit. And whatever you find, I'm not going to give it the time of day because I know it's nothing. It's just a big waste of time. Was saying that that Wade, let's see, has Saturn emoji. Thank you, Superfish. Appreciate you. Wade, let's see that Saturn emoji. Dangle it out there for everybody. How many Saturn emojis do we have so far? I think, and for those that don't know, that's when you've had the YouTube exclusive membership for 2 years. Blackbeard, Terry Roberts, Ron Navy.
I think Ron Navy got it, right?
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah, I was going to say Rockout has it too, right?
Yeah.
So what's that, 5?
Rockout, you wait. Rockout, you have it? How'd I miss that? Attaboy.
Yeah, I got a week ago.
Attaboy, Rockout. All right. Anything else, boys? I might call it a night here because I got to get up early and stream the Scott Fish Bowl.
No, you're good.
I was going to ask you just who you think, if you think Burrow or Stroud has a better chance to get back into that top 5-6 range at quarterback, or you think they both just equally?
I feel like they both have the same opportunity to be top 5 or 6, but I feel like I don't bank on either one of them becoming top 5 or 6. But just because you look at all these quarterbacks that have this running potential, like even Kyler, I think has much upside as Stroud. Stroud's got more TD potential overall. He's got an arsenal. So I'm okay with Stroud being number 5 or 6. I am. And Burrow, I think Burrow can do it, but you can't draft him there. That's why he's going around 7. But at the end of the day, do I kind of like Kyler, especially we're talking about cost of entry, right? Do I kind of like Kyler more than I like Stroud? Yeah. Cost of entry. You're factoring that in. You get McBride or Kincaid because you don't need to take Stroud early anymore. You're taking Kyler 1 round later. So it's better. Burrow later than Stroud, that's debatable, but you could argue that too. Same thing. So Kyler
that's why I bring him up. Yeah, just because they don't have that running ability, and like even like a guy like Jordan Love, who I don't think will be as high as them. He might run a little more than them, and that could even bring him a little closer. But I just asked about them because I see both of them as just like maybe two of the top 3 or 4 best passers in the league, but they don't necessarily have that running ability.
Yeah. All right, boys, I'm out of here. I got an early morning, so I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, later, guys. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Later. All right. So she wrote. It's good little sesh. Got the phone calls in. I like that. I don't think the stream lagged. So that's pretty good. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, thank you all for the super chats tonight. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Rock out, Ray G, Superfish, Money Mitch, Superfish. And do we have any celebratory messages here? I do. Abanto. Thank you, Abanto, for your earlier super chat. I appreciate you. And then the gifted memberships. What monsters we got in here? Gifted memberships. We got the 5 gifted from Pearson. Thank you so much, pal. Appreciate you all. I will see you later. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Don't forget, I'll be live around noon Eastern, roughly, maybe a little after, and about 9 Vegas and Arizona and West Coast time, or a little bit after 9 for the Scott Fish Bowl. I'm drafting number 3. It's a crazy draft. It's Superflex, tight end premium, running back premium. So, and kicker premium. So you don't even, like, Superflex gets like kicked in the nutsack in a way, because the running backs get so much of an advantage, and then the tight ends get double the advantage. It's a crazy format. I'll explain more of it tomorrow. I'll see you all later. Don't forget to get onto the Patreon, which is down below in the description of the video. Click that Patreon link. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all later. Deuces.